Hello everyone. This basically is my personal top 10 anime and characters of all time. It's completely biased. It was suggested to me by a dude named Aiko Natsumi. And I wanted to do something like this, but the thing is I haven't watched so many anime, and some of the shows that I'm watching not finished at all. Like there are so many to them. But yeah, I'm going to give you my 10 top list of animes shows that I kind of finished and were really invested to. I'm not going to include movies and shows that I couldn't their plot is still not finished completely. But yeah, my top anime shows are basically, first would be Grim Grove Fantasy and Ash. That when I first saw that anime, it connected to me based on the experiences that I had in my life, and it was just real. I loved the atmosphere of it. I loved the interactions between the characters, and overall plot was good. Like it had sense of mystery. It had sense of frustration, sense of accomplishments, sense of charity, sense of chivalry. It was just amazing to me. So my first would be that. My second anime of all time would be Erased. Some people really didn't like that show because of some technical time travel issues that they had with it. It didn't explain to a decent extent what the properties were. But to me, I just love it because it was a very, very good thriller. The story was so engaging. It had amazing ups and downs. It would give you extreme amount of what do you call it? Nervousness, and I would get shaky for every episode because it was so good. It was just amazing to me. The third anime of all time for me was Monogatari. Monogatari, not because it had the best plot, not because it had the best narrative, because it has 3 layers of plot going at the same time. There is a psychological plot that you need to understand about each character because that's their real monster. There is the segmented plot that happened for every arc, and it's just brilliant sometimes, and sometimes it can be better. It's personal opinion. So, and there is the overall plot of the show that other plot line just gets connected to them, and they're just amazing. The narrative I think could have been better, but that's why we have order of watching. There is the order of release. There is the order of the timeline inside the show, chronological. But yeah, that would be my third favorite anime of all time. Fourth would be Steins Gate, because Steins Gate had the some people actually say that the first few episodes of Steins Gate, till episode 11, 12, it was slow. Those episodes were probably my favorite. Because I always love the journey. I always love the journey of getting to a big event, because it was slowly getting creepy, mysterious, and weird. Characters were anonymous and very vague in some manners. Some of them were Amane Suzuha, absolute legends who just didn't give a fuck and revealed everything. But that again is probably another one of my favorite thrillers, because the story just is so good, and the narrative is top notch. The way they deliver this plot to you is just fantastic. You actually feel good after watching the show. Although I watched the Steins Gate 02, that was because I just love the Steins Gate too much. The fifth one goes to Violet Evergarden. That show kind of changed my perspective of anime. It created a baseline, a standard, like anime, like the things you should expect from an anime, although it had like a brilliant budget and the animation was just fucking fantastic. My main like interest in it was the plot, the like the feelings, the like the amount of effort they put into creating a war story without too much of a conflict. Like, the whole point of the show was, this is not a spoiler, this is like a basically light-hearted review. The whole point of the Violet Evergarden was for one girl to understand the concept of love, and it took her a journey. Even thinking about it, I'm getting a bit choked up and teared up, but that's it, guys. That's amazing. The sixth category of top my favorite anime of all time goes to Sword Art Online, because that's the most biased like I have ever been. Like, I'm biased about Sword Art Online everywhere. Like, some people hate Sword Art Online like immense amount because it had the things that they didn't want from a like VR gaming, basically anime. But to me, I didn't care about the game itself. I didn't care about the like issues that they were going. My interest in that show was the relationship between Kirito and Asuna. And then we get to the next, like the second season, we get involved into some more like psychological issues of one other character, and that itself was brilliant to see. I just loved it. The way they actually resolved it, the way they, because we all think about like think of VR as like a gaming platform, something that helps you play games and stuff like that. But no, that show showed me the fact that yes, VR can be a very helpful equipment for people with anxiety, people with like people who you can't fly, people who are afraid of height, people who can't handle guns, people who have terminal diseases. That it showed in Sword Art Online that those like weaknesses can actually be treated better by involving yourself in a like in this kind of form of entertainment. Even thinking about it, I still get choked up. But yeah, I mean, I got into VR when I had my knee injury. I got like a gifted to me an Oculus Rift, and ever since then I just love VR because it helped me a lot. Especially when you can't walk properly, you basically can't go to bathroom yourself, and you all know what it's like. Although for me it was temporary, for some people it's permanent, and those people deserve to feel VR. They deserve to feel the like amazingness of the technology that we have now. The seventh category goes to Gabriel Dropout. Okay, so I have three like main factors when I'm picking up a show, when I like love a show. First is comedy, second is plot, and third is narrative, the way plot is delivered. And when the comedy is perfect, I just love the show immediately. Like the Gabriel Dropout and changed the way I like looked at comedy ever again. Although some other shows come after, but because I watched Gabriel Dropout first, it had a bigger impression on me rather than some other shows that we're going to get to now. The eighth goes to Hinamatsuri. If anyone just like, if there is a reason I love that show, is because of Nita. Nita. He was like a very more adult and like nonchalant Kazuma with heart. That I just loved him. There is nothing else. I mean, the other characters were good. I can't remember the blonde girl. She was she was a gem in that show. That like annoying at first, then amazing, like fucking development of gods. The ninth goes to Konosuba because I watched it late. It comes later because I can't really relate to that. But it was a very good comedy with a decent pace, but it had some ups and downs. With some of the jokes were repeating, but overall it was a very very good show. Um, my 10th goes to, and I'm sorry for if you guys are cringing a bit, Love Live Sunshine. Yes, Love Live Sunshine. Why? Because that show made me smile. That show showed me you can achieve things if you're like in the depths of like disappointment, in the depths of doubt. You can achieve things by understanding that you can do anything you want, even if society, even if your budget, even if your like yourself doubt it, are ashamed of it, and are like embarrassed by it. Those are my 10 top anime of all time so far. The reason I didn't like put Attack on Titan, Re:Zero, and stuff like that is because I don't know the conclusion of those stories yet. Those plots are still ongoing. Re:Zero basically didn't show us anything, so next season probably everything changes. And my top personal anime characters of all time. Okay, this is going to be you guys are going to be so fucking mad, but yeah, just we're going to have it. Satoru Fujinuma is my favorite character of all time because the effort he put into actually solving the issue that was in front of him, because it was a very challenging issue to fix, and it was really you have to understand. Yeah, if you watched it, you know, but every time the pressure that he went through was just a bit too much for me. So seeing him like get over it and try to fix the issue, and the way he fixes the issue, is absolutely brilliant for me. Second goes to Hanakawa Tsubasa from Monogatari. I just love her. I just love her so much. I don't know why. The moment I saw her in her arc in Bakemonogatari, and again in Nekomonogatari, and again in the second Nekomonogatari, I just loved her arc. Like, her character was probably one of my favorite the moment Bakemonogatari started, and was my favorite the moment Monogatari as I know like ended. Basically Zuko Monogatari and Ozuki Obori Monogatari, and I just love her. Her arc basically in Bake reminded me of like some issues that I was facing, reminded me of my father, reminded me of my experiences. Again, these are really personal, so I'm biased about them because they are personal. Then we have my third favorite character of all time. This is going to make some people angry, but Natsuki Subaru. The reason I say Natsuki Subaru is one of my favorite, because as a kid, he shouldn't be more than 20. He's absolutely under 20. He's underage. He's probably 17 or 18. And the things that he went through, those were unreal. If you think for 1 second, then you can be in his shoes and not run away, or like try to get out of that effing curse. It's a curse, Daniel. Shut up, please. Let me have this. You're out of your goddamn mind. Because I'm not going to spoil anything, but Jesus fucking Christ, Subaru is probably one of the most strongest characters with the most powerful power ever. Yet that power is a curse because it's so damn demanding of your mental state. It's so fucked up the way the things that he went through. And that's all I'm going to say, you know what I mean. The fourth goes to Mr. Kaiki Deshu, the best girl everywhere. The reason I say this because you know why. You know why Kaiki is the best. You know why. I don't have to say anything. He's the underdog of Monogatari. He's the reason everything got 10 times better in Monogatari. His introduction, the way he fixes issues, the way he talks, the way he lies, and the way he manipulates you into thinking that he's telling you a lie, yet he's telling you the truth about the situation that he's facing. And that's why I love him immensely. Of course, the music, his like background music and his like way of doing things is amazing. His methods questionable, but to me, he's a legend. The fifth one goes to Oshino Ogi, the other part of Kaiki that increased Monogatari's interest for me like 100 more times. She / he is probably the one of the most mysterious characters in a show for me. Like, there were tits and bits here and there, but she's insanely like weird. And after the reveal even, she still remains a mystery for me because of some other events that happen in Zuko, but still that goes for my fifth category. The thing is, I can't really talk a lot about her because it's going to be like huge spoilers, and I can't really like put her down because she's such an important character. But yes, that just oneself is like the most amazing way of showing how a plot goes and the way they use the narrative to actually make her mysterious and use some like red herrings. That was just brilliant. 6 of course goes to my man Okabe Rintaro. I'm sorry again, I'm biased about the Steins Gate sometimes, but not as much as Sword Art Online. Okabe Rintaro because, and you know why, his act, he's a fucking maniac, but he has the heart of gold. He's a very good character, he's loyal, and that's one of his like, that's one of the reasons he kind of is so down in the alternative version Steins Gate Zero. And that's why I love him so much, because he thinks about it, he has his dilemma, yet he goes to do it again, and that takes some courage. The 7th one goes to, and I'm sorry for this, I know so many people hate her, Aqua. I just love her stupidity so much. Like, she made Konosuba so much better for me, and the reason is because she's a good like punching bag for Kazuma. Like, I love her so much, but she can be so dumb, yet she is extremely powerful. Like, she's a goddess who acts like a fucking 2-year-old, and that's why I love her so much. The 8th goes to Sato Kazuma, of course. Why? Who else? Who else can get the like title of the most best dick ever in a show? Like, the things that he says to other like girls and the things that he does to them. Not the worst, but so fucking dickish, and that's why I love him. He doesn't hate it to be like pervert. He doesn't like mind to be being a pervert. He's like the only like real character that I've seen. I didn't see so many anime shows, but he's one of the characters that actually like applies to gender equality in a very funny way, though that can be hated by some feminists, but I don't give a fuck. He's awesome. The 9th goes to Chika Takami, from Love Live Sunshine. Yes, again, biased. This is one of my personal favorites because of her determination to do what she wants to do. Although with like support of her friends, still she helped me through some dark times in my life. She helped me survive some of the dark times in my life, and that was probably one of the most I'm sorry, I'm a bit emotional about Love Live in general, but Sunshine itself showed that defeat and falling down over and over can't break someone, can make them extremely depressed and disappointed in what they're doing, but it can break someone to that point. And sometimes I compare some of these characters, but based on their general story, they are vastly different. So I can't really say, oh, Subaru went through so much shit, and why didn't he had such an impact on me? Because Subaru's issues were not that relatable for me. Like, I understood them, but when life gives you shit so many times, you kind of get used to shit every now and then. So Subaru's undoing basically gave me power, but his determination just made him one of my favorite characters. In Chika's point, Chika Takami, her issues weren't as big, not even close to being big as Subaru's, but her dilemma and the way that she wanted to do the live, she wanted to go there, and it just kept going down, it just kept fucking over. And in the second season, I got probably, I'm not going to say we because some people might have different opinions, I got probably few of the top music in anime I ever wanted. Like, I still listen to those OST, like if you see in the vlog video of me going to Tehran, you can see that it's in my playlist. I listen to those music like every single time I'm outside, I'm trying to kill time. Like, Love Live in general had some amazing music, especially from like Outer Party, like what was it, A-Rise, Saint Snow, of course, and fuck, I forgot the other name, Muse. Those musics are fantastic. I mean, I know people love Idolmaster a bit more because it's more idly, but I just love the what was it, Love Live, because of its sense of comedy, its sense of a tiny bit cringe, and the fact that these girls are just so lovely. I love them. And the 10th goes to again, it's weird, but Yoshifumi Nita. And again, I said it, the 10th goes to Yoshifumi Nita because I just love him so much. I just love his fucking character. As I said, he's like a more he's like an older, like Kazuma, a fucking Yakuza badass, yet with a very like sense of danger against the person he really wants to protect and is protecting. And I just love him so much. Like, he made me smile when I was so fucking sick and had a fucking fever when I was watching Hinamatsuri. Like, he made me smile during my sick times, because I kind of binged half of Hinamatsuri in 1 week and then I continued with the rest. So that's it, guys. These are my 10 personal, I again say personal, anime shows and personal like characters in anime that I just love immensely. And these can change based on what I see and what I'm going to experience in the shows that I'm watching right now. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe and support me on Patreon. But yeah, for now, goodbye. And thank you for suggesting this. Like, Aiko, what was her name? What was his name? The dude who suggested this was... Aiko Natsumi. Yeah, thanks for suggesting this. But yeah, For now, everyone, goodbye.